Welcome back, guys. So as a beginner, we've designed these 4 pages and we are becoming more of a professional right now. So you can start putting on your social media platforms, your Twitter, your Facebook, your LinkedIn. You can start putting product designer on your profile because you are getting better, and by the end of this course you'll be better. So right now, let me zoom this to like a 50 and let's try to refine the design. So to refine the design to uniformity, so let's make sure our title and everything are all equal. So right now we have the primary color, the style guide and everything. So we could start on grouping. We're going to do a lot of ungrouping right now, so let's do a lot of that. So right now we have this, so let me turn on the layout grid. So I'm going to use the normal layout grid, and here we are. So right now what we want to do now is to Ctrl Z this, and you could turn on the layout grid for every session, but not that. So I want to click on the home page at first. So these are layers right here. So we have the about us page, we have the home page, we have the about us page. Okay, so we have all these pages right now. So we have the blog page, so you could actually easily do that, and we have the about us page. Yes, we have the home page, and there's a service page. So we're going to just have all that right now. So this is service page right here, and there's the service page. So we have all this, and there's service page. So here is the blog page as well. So we have all the layers right here, so you could actually have a clean layout. So right now we are in the home page, and I want to turn on the grid layout for that. So I'm going to turn that on right now. So I'm going to click on the styles, and I'm going to have my layout grid. So right here, starting from here, our design should start from this edge like I was showing you earlier on. You should start from the edge. So let's ungroup this at first. So I'll click on that section and I'll ungroup that. So having to ungroup that, all I have to do is to find a way to lock this part of the session. So I'm going to find a way to lock it, and here we are. So let me just look for my hand tool. So let's look for our hand tool, and let's bring something. Let's do something like this, and let me use the move tool to click on what I have right here. So I'm going to click on everything. So Blood Creative Studio would come right here. So let's have something like this. So we're going to have this locked and unlocked, and what I want to do is to flatten this. Yes, so we're going to flatten that, and we're going to have this move to this edge. Yes, this will be moved here, and yes, move the button as well. So we're going to move the button all along. The button will be moved this way, and there we are. So we're going to start that way. The design starts this way, and we could just change the margin from the layout grid. So let's reset the layout grid. So let me click on the home page, and here in the layout grid, let me reset this. There's something I want to reset. Let me reset the margin. So we have 12 columns and the margin is 40. I think an 80 would be better. So let's make it 80 pixels. So let's see what we have. Oh, 80 pixels looks good. Or let's make it 120. Let's see what 120 would look like. Oh, 120 is a stretch, so let's make it like 100. Then let's see what 100 would look like. I think 100 is perfect, so let's make it 100. So let's do this. So let's redesign this to uniformity. So right now I'm going to click on this. The logo would come right here. The logo will start from there. Yes, and this will come right here, just to create a uniform design. So this will come right here, and this would come right here. So we have that. Yes, that will be the first thing, and right now this is the next thing. So let me just bring this somewhere here, and there will be from the edge. Yes, so we're going to just stretch this across so it's fits in there. Yes, perfect. So we just did that. And the services, so right here in the services, we can redesign this just to make more sense to us. So I could just make sure it stretches across this way, then this should come to the middle, of course. So I'm going to try to center this. So let's center this right now. So that will be centered, and there we are. So it's going to be aligned to the center, and that's what I just did. So right now we could actually refine all this. So let me ungroup this as well. let me ungroup the home page, and here in the home page I just ungroup that. So I could have all these deleted just to have a plain service. Okay, Control Z, let me Control Z that to have it brought back. So I'm going to ungroup that. So let me ungroup that, and let me see if I could have all these deleted. So we have that deleted, and this color could be changed. So let's change to our primary color, of course. So the primary color will be brought back, and the style, the circle in between the ellipse too, let's delete that, and there we are. So this could be a little bit of stretch, but let's do something like that. So let's remove this as well. Let's delete that. Let's ungroup that first. I'm going to ungroup it. Yes, we have it ungrouped, so I'm going to delete that. I'm going to delete the ellipse, and there we are. So I'm going to come right here, and yeah, there we are. So I'm going to make this the primary color. Here we are, and we just made it the primary color. Then we're going to remove the ellipse beneath it, so I'm going to delete that. There we are. So let's have this recruit, and this will be the primary color as well. So there we are. So we are just making a refinement of our design so far. So this is what we have, and this as well. Let's ungroup this as well, and this could be changed to like a blue. So let's make it the primary color, and there we are. So this is the primary color, and here we are with the primary color. So this will be 86, and this will be centered as well. So that's it in the center. So this is in the center as well. So here we are, and everything is good so far. So this should be, let's make it size each other. So it starts from this edge to this edge, so it goes that way, and this is a perfect design for us. So here we are, and we are good to go. So we have this, and let's see how does this come to the middle. So we have something like this, and okay, so let's have it in the middle. So here we are, and this as well, let's make sure it's in the middle. Yes, it's in the middle. So they are all in the middle. Button test, and this is button test as well. So we are good to go, and this is all the same. So here we are, and the socials, let's leave the socials. The footer is okay where it is. I don't think anything's wrong with the footer, so that's it right now. So we just created a uniform design from here, and let's zoom that to fit. So we're going to do this for the remaining parts of this design. As you could see, this is just a uniform design, and let's go to the second page. So I'm going to come to my hand tool, and I'm going to move to the about us. So the about us right now, I'm going to zoom this to like a 50, and here in the about us. So let's come right here to the about us, and we are going to do a little bit of refinement here as well, like I said. So let me click on that. So this is the home page. So I'm going to make sure the home page is out of the way. So right now all I have to do is to look for the service page, and yeah, we are good to go. So I'm going to use the move tool, and here we are. So the home page is right there, and let's look for the service page right now. So this is the service page. So we have the blog page right there, and what we are looking for is the service page. So let's look for the service page right now. So from here we're going to see everything. So this is service page. So right now I'm in the service page right now, so I'll click on the service page. So I'm going to add my grid from the style layout. I'm going to change the grid, and here we are. So the changes are eyeing us right now, so I'm going to bring this to where it should be. Ctrl Z, and this Ctrl Z now. So let's ungroup everything. So everything needs to be ungrouped, and here we are. Ctrl Z. So let me Ctrl Z that, and let's do something like this. So I'm going to bring in, I'm going to make sure this is okay. So let's do something like this. So let's flatten this out. So I'm going to flatten that, and there we are. So I'm going to bring it here, so that will be there. And as you can see, the changes has been made from the navigation, because we did the first changes from that navigation. It changes the navigation throughout. So that's something about components. Components is used for a usable design and changes everything about the design. So right here, let's do something like this. So this comes here, and this as well comes this way. So yes, we are good to go. Yes, perfect. So here we are, So we're just creating a uniform design. So here we are. So the services starts there, and this, so what I have to do is to copy all this, and we're going to bring them, let's align them properly so it comes this way. Yes, and yes, we're just going to enlarge it a bit, and here we are. That is uniform enough. Yes, and the contact us button, something like this. So we're going to bring this to the middle, of course. So we're going to bring this text to the middle. So this text, Control Z. So we're going to bring this text to the middle. I'm going to flatten it out. So let's flatten that, and let's bring this text to the middle. So this comes to the middle of this, and here we are. So here is the contact us. So let me just make sure it stretches across. So let's come here, and let's make sure it stretches across this way. So here we are, and what we're going to do now is to ungroup this. So let's ungroup this so that we can bring the drop message right here. So it is boarding right there. So the drop message will be right there, and here we are. So this is perfect, and let's zoom to fit. So that's what we have so far. So that has been worked on. The service page has been worked on. So let's work on the about us page right now. So I'm going to click on this. So let's expand that. So we are going to click on just the frame for now. So let's click on the frame, and let's add the layout grid right now. So I'm going to add, okay, so let me take that out. Let me access the style grid. So I'm going to access the grid style, and that is that. So coming back here, let's make it a 50%, and my and to is we come in handy right here. So this is the about us. So let's work on the about us right now. So you could see the navigation has been worked on. So what I'm going to do now is to start working on this. So I'm going to use the move tool to select each element. So I'm going to come right here. I'm going to have to ungroup at first. Yes, I just did that, and here is the about us. So this comes here, of course it comes here, and this ends here. Yes, of course it ends there. So there we are. So we're going to have this is centered, of course. So I don't think this should be moved anyway. So let's see, let's make sure it's centered. Yeah, that is centered. So our services right now starts right away. So right now let's move this to this. So let's come to the edge of this. Yes, we have that, and yes, we have this. So this, let's just align them all. Let's align them all to this, and let's bring it somewhere here. So we have that here. Perfect. So these as well should be moved this way. Perfect. Yeah, that is perfect, and that has been worked on. So we are creatives should come right here in between here. So let's make sure this is centered. Okay, look at the red line. The red line will show you it's centered. So right here. Okay, let me just use this. Okay, so that will be center. So that is centered right now. So this should start from this edge and should end right here. So that is perfect for me, and there we are creative. So this has been properly aligned too. So let's make sure this is properly aligned. So yes, here we are. So we are good to go. So this has been done as well. This is properly aligned as well, as you could see from here. So we're going to have that, and that has been properly aligned. So let's come to the last page, which is the blog page, so we can have something perfect. So this is the blog page right here. So let's do something similar to the blog page. So right now we are going to start from this. So this will be perfected. All I have to do is to ungroup, is to group them all, or to highlight them, and here we are. So I'm going to bring this, it's going to start from here, then it's going to end here. Okay, so that's perfect for me, and right now I'm going to just stretch this a little bit, so that will be stretched, and yes, we are good to go. So that is that for that. So we are going to proceed right now. So this services, this one's good. Yes, so we have this. Okay, let's do the, we're going to make that changes from the main one. So let's have something like this, and this is the grid. So we're going to work on the grid as well. So this grid could be worked on. We could make the grid a 3 by, yes, so it's going to be, so let's have something like this. Okay, okay, let me just delete one of those. So I'm going to delete the last one. So let's delete the last grouped grid. And right now, so let's have this work done. So this will be a 3 by 3. So let's do something like this. Yes. So this is a 3 by 3 grid. Yeah. So this is perfect. Yes. So we have something like this. Yeah, so we have something like that, and that's perfect for me. So this should be in the middle, obviously. So this is looking great so far, and all we have to do now is to resize this as well. So let's do some resizing here. So I'm going to just copy all this, and let me just make it resizable right here. So we're going to have something like this, and something like this comes this way. So we're going to have something like that, and yes, so this is perfect as well. So here it is, and it's perfect to me. So I'm going to just make sure all these are okay. So this image could be changed. Actually, this image could be changed. So let me do some changes. So here we are. So let me do some changes to this image. So I'm going to use my unsplash plugin to access the unsplash library. So I'm going to come to plugins, then I'm going to come to unsplash. I need to make it something like that so the boat doesn't look dark. It looks red that way. So let me say a blog. So let's look for something like blog image, and let's see what we could use right here to change that with. So we're going to have something like, okay, so something like this will not be bad. So let's bring in that. So we're going to have something like that, and here we are. Oh, the exposure and everything. So we have to reset that. So coming back here, let me just reset the exposure and everything. So this will come back to normal. So yes, this will come back to normal. This will come back to normal. This would come back to normal. Let them all come back to normal so we can have the actual color. So it comes back to normal, comes back to normal, comes back to normal, comes back to normal. So there we are good to go, and that has been done. So we have all this, and this could be reduced, as you all know. So that could be reduced, and this could be reduced as well. So we have this, and here we are. So we are good to go right now. So we just made everything uniform. From the a uniform design is always looking good, is always perfect for the onlookers, as you could see. So we have a perfect uniform designs by aligning the margin. We have the same margin and the same spacing. So we just worked on the spacing. So you could do more with this. As you could see, so far so good. We've designed the 4 pages we need for this website: the home page, the about us, the service page, and the blog page.
Before we proceed, let me introduce you to material design. Something about material design is that when we're creating styles the other time, there's something called material design where custom styles have been made already. So we could use something like a material design to get our icons, get our components and all that. I've told you what components are. Components are reusable assets, so you can reuse assets with components. So you could see this material design right here, and we have every material design kit right here. You could see this Figma material design kit, so you could check it out. And we have the styles. You could check the styles out. You could check the components out. So let's see what the styles would look like. Let's see what the components would look like. So from here, you see that styles are the visual aspect of a UI that give it a distinct look and feel. They can be customized by changing your material theme. So you see we have styles here, and there are different styles. So you could start checking them out from the color to the elevation. So we have different material designs right here. We have icons, we have motions, we have shape, we have typography. So we could check them out one by one. As you could see, what material design really means is that it's an adaptable system of guidelines, components, and tools that supports the best practices of user interface design, backed by the open source code. Material design streamlines collaboration between designers and developers and helps teams quickly build beautiful products. So this is one of the ways to hasten your product's design. And here is material design, as you could see. So this is a material design kit. We could easily say we want to open it on Figma. So we have all these kits, and they can be used in our design. So you could actually open them on Figma. We have Android UI kits, we have Android app icons and all that. So we have all these. So let's see what the Android UI kit looks like. So we have all these components that can be used by material design, and this way it streamlines your process of designing. So this is the Android UI kit, and you could see from here you'll see what the preview looks like. So this is Android UI kit. As you could see from the page, you could see styles, you could see communications, you could see everything you need, you can reuse from this place. So you could see communication, you could see everything from here. So you could open the Android UI kits, you could open it on Figma, so it takes you to Figma directly, and we have components right here. So we have different components. Look at a button component, look at an extended FABs, which is floating action buttons. Look at floating action buttons for apps. Look at icon buttons. Look at these segmented buttons, as you could see. So all this could be added to your design. So you could see communication components provide helpful information. You could see progress indicators, you could see badges. So there are a lot of components you can use here on material design. So material design is just a way for you to get all these in your Figma without having to design them, and all you have to do is just to reuse them and customize them. So that is that for that. So we have the archived versions of material design. Currently they are on material design 3, we have material design 1, material design 2. So if you feel like you want to go back in time, you can actually go back in time to download material design 2, but it's advisable to use the latest one. So we have the color systems as well, the color systems that can be reused. You could see from here we have the priming, we have the on-priming, we have the priming container, we have the on-priming container. So we have a whole lot of things. You have the elevation, which has the drop shadows and all those things. So you could see this elevation is measured as the distance between components along the z-axis in density independent pixels. So you could see them right here, see elevation right here, and look at this elevation. So they are styles and there are guidelines to it already for us, and these are icons that can be used as well. We could take icons from the material design. We have motion, so we could look into motions as well, and you will see everything about it, how to get this after effects, easing panel and all that. So you can get all this motion, you could see a motion right here. So it depends, and you could follow the guideline. You could learn about common transition patterns, and you could say you want to follow a guideline, the new transitions guideline, and you get to see a guideline from here. And you could see, you see transitions are short animations that connect individual elements on full screen. So these are 6 common transition pattern. We have the container transform. So you could go through the material design and learn 1 or 2 things on how to design latest trend in designs. And we have the shape as well, so you could see different shapes from here. You could see the none, you could see the extra small, you could see the text field, you could see a whole lot of things right here that you could reuse when designing. And we have the typography right here. So we have all these, we've created local styles, these are global styles, and we use material design for local styles, and that is what this fully means. So we've talked about the material design, and we could easily open it on our Figma. This is me trying to open it on Figma, and this is me on my Figma with my material design UI kit, as you could see it from here. So you could actually open it from here, and you could see these are the UI kit for the material design. From here you could scroll from pages to pages. This is just a guide. You could increase, you could zoom the zoom level to like a 50 just to see what you have right here. So you could say, you could increase to like a 50, or you try to minus and see what they all look like. So you could see different device frame, the one for mobile, you could see it right here, and you could see this is a phone portrait, this is a phone landscape. So you could actually take these components out. That's just what it means. You could actually take the components out. What you can do is you can actually create your design right here. You could say you want to create your mobile design right here. So you could say mobile design, and you could start creating things from here. So that's what it literally means, and that's why we are here. So we have the guide, we have the styles. You could see styles from here, and all you have to do is just to zoom. When you zoom to like a 50, you see the real styles. You have the primary container, you have all the details you need right here, and you could start using material design on your design. So this is what it literally means, and you could see styles right here. We have the primary, secondary, styles as color, and just like we created the local styles, look at it right here. So we have the styles, local styles, we have the color styles, we have the grid styles from material designs. So you don't have to create a local style when you're using material design. And you have the communication, those those reusable components now, you'll be able to see them right now. You'll be able to use them, and as you can see, these are all reusable components. You could take each of them out, so you could see launcher, you could see everything you could reuse. You could start taking them out one by one, and you could see them right there. So I could use Ctrl C to go back to where we were coming from, and we have all these. They are all components, and you could actually access them. So all you have to do is come to assets, and you'll see created in this file, you'll be able to access different components. You see communication components. You could come here and you see them one by one. All you have to do is to add them to your design. So for instance, we just created a mobile design page. You could just come to your mobile design page. You could take your frame. You could say your frame should be like maybe an Android. We are going to choose like an Android compact. So we have something like this, since we are trying to create a mobile app. And you could just come to your plain Canva to see what the grid styles are. So we have grid styles right here, so you could take any of the grid styles and use them for your design. All you have to do is click on something like this, and you could just see what this is all about. This is like a 4 column. All you have to do is to make sure this your grid style, you select the frame, then you come to your layout grid to select the style. So you see your column grid right here for material design, and we have this layout. So we do not have to create a local style to get the layout. That's what I'm really trying saying. So you could name this like a splash screen. It could be your splash screen, and we have a layout grid from there. So you could say splash screen, and from here you could proceed to do whatever else you want to do. Just look for, like, for instance, I want to work on this frame right now, and I want to access my components. All I have to do is to come to my assets, and come to my asset right here. I'll come here to look for components. So you could come to navigation settings, for instance. So you could see different components that you could bring in. So this is one component from Android. I know you are used to it. This is status bar, so you could actually bring it in for material design, and you could see from here this is showing something like this. So you could bring it somewhere here. All you have to do is to edit them. You could actually edit them. You could come to your file here and see your status bar right here, and you could come to edit them by choosing what to edit. And you could see from here, you could see that you have your status bar and you have your fill right here. You could choose to change your fill to what would work for you. So you could change to something like this. You could choose to change it to like a white, and you could choose to change to like a color that will make sense for you, and you just choose something like this, and you see that changes. So that's something about material design, and it's as simple as that. It makes our design easier. We are going to proceed with this in the next lesson. I hope to see you in the next lesson. See you there.